Informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Hi there, welcome to your main newscast for today, Friday, June 22nd, 2023. My name is Joshua Van Slykeman. Thank you for joining us. We tell you now that Chief Executive Officer of Hess Corporation, John Hess, disclosed yesterday that President Ali was very clear that a stay of execution would have been issued on an order for unlimited guarantee to cover oil spill, and so it was. He made this disclosure at the JP Morgan 2023 Energy, Power and Renewable Conference. Hess's comments would likely raise eyebrows in the legal circle here and undermine the independence of the judiciary, which Vice President Barra Jagdu is on record saying that it should be predictable. At the conference, Hess was asked for an update on the case that was brought by two Guyanese men last year. The citizens were of the belief that the ExxonMobil-led consortium was in breach of its financial assurance provision for the Liza Phase 1 project. A High Court ruling subsequently noted that Exxon and partners must be on the hook for all oil spill costs in the Stabroek block, and therefore called for an unlimited parent and or affiliate company guarantee by June 10, 2023. In other news, Attorney-at-Law Sinat Jairam on Thursday argued that the entire application made by the Attorney General Anil Nandalal to join the appeal of the unlimited parent company guarantee order by the High Court is quote-unquote misconceived. Jairam told the appeal court that any anticipated or purported adverse consequences to the state, to the government of Guyana, and to the executive branch of government does not come from the order made by Justice Sandil Kissoon, but from ESSO's colloquial failure to comply with the order. He therefore submitted that the AG's claim to have any interest in the matter disposed of. The senior counsel went on to point out that there is no claim being brought by or against the state, and therefore no role for the AG in the matter. In other news, ExxonMobil has been undertaking a suite of measures to boost its production output from the resource-rich Stabroek block. According to the multinational corporation, it has completed a world record number of well tests to increase value from the projects. ExxonMobil is the leader of a consortium currently producing oil offshore Guyana. Its operator Esso is extracting the resources from the Liza 1 and 2 projects presently. A third project is expected to start up later this year. The oil giant reported that its exploration success has resulted in more than 30 discoveries since the initial Liza discovery in 2015. In other news, the ongoing bid round for 14 of Guyana's offshore oil blocks will remain open until the country completes the modernization of its 37-year-old Petroleum Exploration and Production Act and the new production sharing agreements to govern the potential resources to be discovered there. This is according to VP Jagdeo. The draft legislation was released on Monday by the Ministry of Natural Resources for a 2-week consultation, while the model PSA to govern the deep and shallow water blocks are currently being finalized. A British firm, IHS Markit, a renowned international firm that specializes in critical information, analytic, and expertise, was hired by the government to provide consultancy services in drafting the new legislation. We tell you now before we head to a short break that the captain along with his boat disappeared on Monday in the Mazaruni River, Region 7, after driving his brother to the Marshall Point back dam. The missing boat captain was identified as a 61-year-old Carl Sobrati of Palmer's Point, Lower Mazaruni. Police said the man's relatives reported him missing around 19 hours 20 on Monday after he failed to return home. A search is currently ongoing. This is your main newscast on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. We will return with more news after the break. Stay with us.
Wanting to protect your family during these difficult times of COVID-19 is natural.
Stay at home, wash your hands often, and don't touch your face.
Yes, Daddy.
But are you doing these things too? And do you practice social distancing? Do you keep 3 to 6 feet away when you're shopping? Or at least stay an arm's length away in the supermarket? Remember, children learn from adults. So if you're not obeying the precautions, neither will they. We have to work towards the new normal together to keep our families safe and protected. Be part of the solution, don't add to the problem. Teach by example and do the right things.
A message from the Child Care and Protection Agency, Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, and UNICEF.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Though ExxonMobil and its partners were required to surrender a portion of the Stabroek block in October, Vice President Bharat Jagdeo confirmed yesterday that the companies will get 1 more year to keep the entire concession. Come next year, however, they will have to give up 20% of the oil-rich concession. Jagdeo said the premise for extending the company's whole of the block is due to the COVID-19 period, which saw exploration activities being severely affected. With the extension granted, he said the next stage of talks pertains to what portion of the block would be returned to the state. In other news, the Amerindian People's Association on Thursday joined Red Thread Women in protesting action demanding justice for the victim of the alleged rape and sodomy at the hands of local government minister Nigel Darmlal. Darmlal has since denied the allegations by the schoolgirls. Members of the APA protested in front of the Artichon Conference Center, where the second day of the Caribbean Court of Justice hearing was being held. Some held placards with the words, "Justice must be served," while others placard had the phrase, "Don't let your loyalty prevent you from speaking out and demanding justice for our women and girls." Protesters also called for a fair investigation into the rape matter against the government minister. For its part, the People's National Congress Reform at a news conference on Thursday said since multiple reports on the matter are readily available to the President, Irfan Ali, he must act immediately with this urgency this matter demands. And to comfortably accommodate its students, the Anna Regina Secondary School in Region 2 will soon be extended and rehabilitated to the tune of $227.9 million. On Wednesday, the Regional Executive Officer Susan Sewak, accompanied by Regional Chairperson Vilma De Silva, Regional Engineer Mr. Kawan Scoot, and Civil Engineer Mr. Harindat Nandalal, signed the $227.9 million contract for the works at the school. And persons from the 10 administrative regions in Guyana are now able to access testing sites within their area that can confirm both conventional and self-testing for HIV information. This is according to family planning and STI testing such as hepatitis B and C gonorrhea, among others. This is according to Dr. Tariq Jainarain. He said that the app is designed to specifically target young people to get them educated on HIV and STIs and to encourage them to get tested. The app will be available on NAP's social media page shortly, and the services offered are in keeping with Ghana's national HIV policy. From July 2023, the National Insurance Scheme pension payments will be paid from the first working day of every month to aligned with old age pension payments. Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, has instructed. This is in keeping with an announcement by President Irfan Ali on Thursday. Previously, NIS pension payments were made on the first Monday of every month. This is your main newscast on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Your page 7 of the Kaieteur News comes up after this. Today's blunt is titled, Dharmlal Would Have to Face the Music. Vice President and General Secretary of the PPP, Bharat Jagdeo, said that the rape-accused Minister of Local Government, Nigel Dharmlal, would have to face the consequences if the allegations are found to be true. Police indicated on Thursday that their investigations have been completed and the file was sent to the Director of Public Prosecutions for advice. We at this newspaper hopes that the justice will be served and that a fair and impartial investigation was actually conducted. We also hope that there will be no interference and Dharmlal will face the music if found culpable. And with that, we've come to the end of your main newscast on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. I'm Joshua Van Slyckman. Thank you for joining us. Have a great remainder to your Friday.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
It is Friday, the second to last one in the month, Friday the 23rd of June. Welcome to the National Outlook on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. I'm GHK Lab. It's been my pleasure to serve you, my brothers and sisters. Sharing with you is a joy. And I'm thankful for the people at Kaieteur, from Mr. Glenn Lal, the owner of the radio station, for the courtesy and privilege extended to me, Mr. Joshua Van Slyckman, Mr. Kevin Smith, and Mr. Bimaraju for their technical assistance in getting this program coming over to you. You don't have to agree with what I say, but at least think. Think outside of whichever party you support, whichever leader you love. That's your right, and I support that. Think for yourself. And one of the things I was thinking about from the local government elections, prior to it, I said that the PPP was going to win Georgetown. I really did think so. The turnouts are low. The PPP has a lot of money, so it could buy votes. And the gaps between the parties are usually narrow. So you can buy a couple of hundred votes. That doesn't, if the PPP can afford that, has the money. So there's a plus and minus to the PPP taking control of the Georgetown municipality. The plus first. It will pour millions, maybe even billions, excuse me, into Georgetown, and it would look beautiful. End of story. It would look beautiful, clean, healthy, vibrant. That's the plus. Because it would pour that kind of money into it, the money that is withholding from the outgoing mayor, Ubraj Narayan, and strangling him and people like me. I live in the city. The downside of that, of the PPP taking control of the PNC stronghold of Georgetown, is this. The total control that has become an obsession for Vice President Jagdale, my brother, and I mean that. I don't care what he thinks about that. The total obsession, the obsession with total control of Vice President Jagdale would have been even closer to full achievement if he gets to control Georgetown. I don't think he would like to do so with Linden, but I don't think he really cares that much. Georgetown is our capital city. It's our nerve center. So what we will have is that control that where nobody can speak, nobody can talk, nobody can think, nobody can write. It's the communism that Dr. Jagdale knows about, where they are fearful of one voice and one placard and one disagreement. Why? Why should this be if a government is doing things right? If leaders are about what is honest and principled and ethical, they should have no fear. They should have no fear of what anybody says. Glenn Lal, GHK Lal, this Lal, that Lal. No, because they know where they stand on honest grounds. They are doing the honorable thing. So there's no reaction to, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. But when you're that's me and others like Mr. Lal, we are speaking about truth and about what truth hurts, what gets to their gut, their stomach, their craw. Then they've got to react, they flinch, they shiver. And that's the total control that we shouldn't have. Look, the PNC hasn't done well. It's done poorly in the 5 years. It's done worse before. Here's my story. As much as I want the plus side of PPP in control of Georgetown, I think I can do without the total control that both the government and Dr. Jagdale wants, Vice President Jagdale, my brother, wants, in his hands. No, I lived in Burnham time. Well, a little bit, and I didn't like it. So I went my way. I'm older now. I'm not going anywhere. So I don't want to go back to those days. Let it stay as it is. We cannot have, Peeping Tom spoke about it. One man, what did he say? One man rule represents a real and present danger. One government, we need a viable opposition. We have to have an opposition. One man rule means not President Ali. It means Bharat Jagdale. And we've seen him at his worst. And it's still not his worst. And that's bad enough. I'm GHK Lal on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Thank you for listening to the National Outlook, and do have a wonderful, safe, and healthy weekend.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara